One of the hardest things about entrepreneurship is you have to be willing to go out on a ledge. And I went from probably one of the most recognizable companies in the world at the time to a startup that no one had ever heard of.
Charles Hudson is the managing partner and founder of Precursor Ventures, an early-stage venture capital firm focused on investing in the first institutional round of investment for the most promising software and hardware companies. Prior to founding Precursor Ventures, Charles was a partner at SoftTech VC. This is Charles' piece of the thread.
So for me, in one word, entrepreneurship is courage. It's the courage to start something and believe you can create something that doesn't exist yet, and that you kind of are uniquely positioned to build it and cause it to exist. And I think it's really courageous to start a company. It's courageous to start anything, a nonprofit, a sports team, an organization, or a company, because it really requires a lot of belief and willpower and courage, energy, all of these things. I think one of the hardest things to do when you're starting up is that I think most entrepreneurs have good options. They have other things they could be doing that are safer or more lucrative, more financially rewarding, I think also more prestigious. And so I'll just tell you a funny story. I was working at Google in 2007 when Google, I think, was widely considered probably the best, coolest place to work. And I realized my parents really liked being able to tell their friends that they had a son that worked at Google, and they came and visited me on campus, and I showed them the whole tour, and they was like, wow, this place is magical. And then when I told them I was going to quit to go do a startup, I think it was hard for them to understand why anyone would leave such a good company, but it just wasn't the right place for me anymore. And so I think one of the hardest things about entrepreneurship is you have to be willing to go out on a ledge. And I went from probably one of the most recognizable companies in the world at the time to a startup that no one had ever heard of. And I think for a lot of people, you're working on a startup, you go to the cookout or the cocktail party, people say, hey, what are you up to? You say, I'm working on a startup. What is it? Well, we haven't launched the product yet. Oh, okay, so you really have a company? And there's this process you go through for that first year and a half, where really you don't have much to show for what you're doing, and it can be hard. I think there's different kinds of skepticism you encounter when you start a venture fund. I mean, I think the overwhelming thing people tell me is, why would you leave SoftTech? You guys are doing really well. Your investments in great companies like Fitbit, Postmates, Poshmark, Eventbrite. You've got a great portfolio. Why would you leave a really good job in venture to start your own fund? Is there something wrong with the fund? It's like, no, the fund is great. Like, just my interest changed. And then I think the other thing is, we pitched about 300 people to start Precursor. And I wish I could say we had 300 for 300 success rate. We did not. It was a lot less than that. And I think in the beginning, I got a lot of skepticism where people just said, one person told me, hey, I think you should go back and get your old job. And he literally told me that at the end of the meeting. He's like, I don't think this thing you're doing is going to work. And this is a person who's been very successful as someone who invests in and backs venture funds. And that one kind of hurt. But I said, I think I can make this work. And that's just one no. Any one no doesn't carry any more weight than another. And so I think a lot of the skepticism I faced was more people just said, look, there's a lot of early stage venture funds. Why does the world need another one? And if we need another one, why should it be yours?
If you could give one piece of advice to an up-and-coming entrepreneur who's probably scared to take the leap, what would be that advice?
I would say very little entrepreneurial failure is final. There are some things you can do that are such spectacular failures that they would negatively impact your ability to do anything else in the future. But those are rare, and I think studying the startup process is important, preparing yourself is really important. There is actually no good proxy for being a founder. There's no job you can take that prepares you for being a founder. If you're a director of marketing, it can teach you a lot of what you need to know to be a VP. But to be a founder, you kind of have to go start something. And I encourage people, at the right time in your career, try it early. Because if it's the right thing for you to do, you can have a fantastic rest of your career as an entrepreneur. And if it turns out not being what you are, you can have the rest of your career doing other things without always wondering, geez, what if I'd started my own company? And the later you get in your career, the harder it is to quit and start, because you have more to walk away from.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like it. To see more videos like it, make sure you subscribe. As always, we'd love to hear your feedback, so comment below and share with all your friends, because there is so much more to come.